Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and happy Christmas, guys. To you, as I currently said before, I go into the details about this video. We are going to be discussing some transfer rumours on this current video today. So if you do consider drop your likes, or if you do consider subscribe, subscribe to the channel as always. So I'm going to be discussing with you a bit of transfer rumours that are going on today. So only now, is it 6-7 days now until the current transfer window opens as well, and teams looking to strengthen their squad up, get more players into their team. As I currently said, so to update you with, I'm going to give you a bit of Arsenal's transfer rumours today, what's going on with them. I'm going to give you a bit of Man United, going to give you a bit of Chelsea. I'm just going to give you a bit of transfer rumours that teams are linked with, as I said. So potentially, we're going to start off with Arsenal. So reportedly, Arsenal have got a few targets. They're interested in getting in the January transfer window. Umremre does want to bolster his squad up in the January transfer window, because obviously Arsenal have got a few injury problems in their team now. Obviously, they've got a couple of players that are guaranteed to leave their club. Aaron Ramsey's set to leave on a free next summer. Danny Welbeck's out for the season, and he's free to leave on a free next summer as well. And potentially Ozil's future, Mesut Ozil's future is still uncertain with Arsenal, as we all currently know. There's been a few teams that have been linked with him as well. So potentially Arsenal linked with a few players. So the latest name that has been mentioned in the press, that reportedly Arsenal are interested in Lille's Nicolas Pepe. Now, reportedly, I don't think Lille are willing to do any business with Arsenal unless Arsenal are willing to meet their price tag. I think they're demanding that they want around 80 million euros and 72 million pounds sterling for the player. I think he's got about 4.5 years left on his current deal, because he signed a 5-year deal with them back in June 2017. So that was last year. Potentially he's a winger. He's Ivory Coast. He's been in. He made his senior debut for them in 2016. The national team did. Nicolas Pepe. He's 23 years. I think he's 23 years of age, so he's still in his prime as well. I think it's mentioned. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough. I think it's mentioned Tottenham have been interested in him as well, but reportedly Arsenal have been interested in. Reportedly, I think Arsenal, somewhere along the line, have had talks about getting this Nicolas Pepe in, but he is one of Arsenal's targets. But reportedly, Lille have made it clear that they want around £72 million for him. Then he did say they are willing to sanction the player off. Reportedly, his performances have been very, very impressive, to be quite fair, the players. So, and reportedly supposed to be a very, very good winner. And I think Arsenal need to address the defence, because I still think they've got defensive issues. I think definitely Arsenal need a winger, because Mkhitaryan's struggling to be consistent on that wing for them. Iwobi's struggling to be consistent on that wing for them, as we all know. So they are in search for a couple of players at Arsenal in January. They got 5 players, obviously, last summer. And and I think, like I said, an Aubameyang and a great, fantastic partnership, in Arsenal's team. Strong, quick, got a lot of tenacity about the play, got great pace, as I said, and the good, very, very clinical, and the good finishers. And I think they work hard together as a partnership. But I think Arsenal do need more in their team if they are potentially going to be future title contenders, as I currently said. But Umremre is a good manager, I do praise him. It is only his first season, with Arsenal. I still think he needs a transfer window too to bolster up more, as I currently said. So potentially he's weighing up the options for this upcoming January transfer window. Is Umremre. Reportedly, they've also been interested in Bokia Junior's Christian Pavon. He was mentioned in the press a couple of weeks ago as well. He's a Boca Juniors player. I think he's 22 years of age, so he's very, very young in his prime. Boca Juniors purchased him in 2014. I think he's been in the senior team since 2013 now. Reportedly, his performances have been very, very impressive. Reportedly, he's got a 40-odd million release clause as a player. Arsenal have been in talks about this as well. So potentially Arsenal have been interested in Christian Pavon as well. So potentially, yeah. So there's a bit of transfer news to update you on Arsenal's transfer news of what's going on with them. But in my opinion, Unai Emery's a good manager. You know, he's got a decent pedigree, and he's done very, very well since he's come to the Premier League. Don't forget, he got Arsenal on a 22-match unbeaten run. I know that's come to an end now, as we all know, but they did go on a 22-match unbeaten run, which is, you know, very, very impressive, you know, to be quite fair. You know, obviously they lost the last 2 games before Burnley, but they got back to winning ways against Burnley. But they do have injury concerns in their team. Arsenal, you've got Mesut Ozil as well in Arsenal's team. It says reportedly the latest team to be linked with Ozil is a Turkish team. It's Istanbul Summer. It says reportedly a couple of days ago, I was reading the press that, well, it says quite a few weeks ago, should I say, that Inter Milan have been interested in Mesut Ozil because, for me, in my knowledge, Inter Milan are under financial fair play regulations. They can't officially confirm signings until next summer because they're under financial fair play. But reportedly, it says Inter Milan have been reportedly interested in Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil struggled for consistency this season. He struggled for game time this season at Arsenal. And obviously, he was injured early on in the season as well for Arsenal with a back injury as well. And he has missed Arsenal's key games this season. Potentially, Arsenal still know how much of an essential player he is. Unai Emery still knows how much of a key player he is for Arsenal in their midfield. You know, his versatility is good. You can put him on the wing as well. He's the number 11. But, you know, he's a good player, as it Ozil. He's a good player. He's proven in the Premier League. I think he can be lethargic sometimes. I think he can be a bit slower on the ball, can Mesut Ozil. But overall, he's a very, very good player. But he struggled to really adapt himself and have that killer instinct under Unai Emery, as we all know. And he hasn't been first choice Mesut Ozil. Obviously, Arsenal will recommend a fee if Arsenal are willing to sell him, as I said, because obviously he signed a new contract worth over £350,000 a week last year as well, because Manchester United were linked to him last year, as we all currently know. A few teams were linked to him. But as I said, you know, he did good to the other teams he was at, and he's grown and developed very, very well. He was good rising up the ranks with Schalke. He was good during his time with Werder Bremen. He was good with Real Madrid, you know, with Jose Mourinho. He was good with Real Madrid. His performances with Real Madrid were very, very good. And he's done very, very well since he's come to the Premier League as Mesut Ozil. But this season, he has struggled for form and consistency. But, you know, the rumours are going about, you know, he's still uncertain at Arsenal. So he hasn't really committed his future as Mesut Ozil. But he could leave Arsenal. There has been reports going on about that as well. As I give you a bit of an update, on yesterday, what I said on my last video about potentially Romelu Lukaku. So reports reportedly are coming out from Italy, reportedly that Juventus are interested in Romelu Lukaku. They're seeing him as a long-term replacement for Mandzukic, who is now 33 years old. So potentially, as I updated you on my last video yesterday, as I currently said, guys, reportedly, I think during one of Lukaku's international breaks, he admitted that he did want to go to Italy. He keeps constantly being linked with a move to Italy, does Romelu Lukaku. But potentially for me, as I said to you yesterday, I don't see how he fits in the Manchester United team. Romelu Lukaku, his first touch is woeful, he's a big brain bottler, doesn't have any tempo to his play, too slow on the ball, and I don't see how he fits in our team, to be quite honest, with Romelu Lukaku. And we could see quite a few players go. As I said, we paid £75 million for him, plus 15 million add-ons, which did rise it to £90 million, as we all know. How long's he got on his contract left? Is it about 4 years still left on his current contract, Romelu Lukaku? But reportedly, Juventus have been interested in him, as I currently said. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could get rid of Romelu Lukaku, because I think there's a few players that could leave Manchester United. But as I said, Lukaku, he struggled for consistency this season. He hasn't been on form this season. He's had a couple of injury problems as well. He's on compassionate leave at the moment as well. So I think he's a doubt for the Huddersfield game tomorrow, as we all know. But we know he's proven in the Premier League. He's proven to be a prolific goal scorer in the Premier League. You know, he scored 45 goals for his international team, Belgium. You know, he scored 27 goals in his first season, you know, with Manchester United. But he has failed to replicate that form as Romelu Lukaku this season, and he's struggling for form. He's struggling for consistency, as we all currently know. And potentially, you know, as I said, you know, he's proven in the Premier League. You know, he was very, very good at Everton. He scored 68 goals all in all, you know, for Everton. You know, he was He struggled in his first season with Chelsea, obviously, to be a regular, you know, when he was young. And he's only 25 years of age, is Romelu Lukaku. So He still has got a lot of years ahead of him, but I don't see how he fits the Manchester United team, to be quite honest with you. And even when he does come back from his compassionate leave, he isn't guaranteed to be a first team starter anywhere. Because obviously we've got Martial, Rashford, and all that, and Jesse Lingard, of course, that are good young players. They're growing and developing, and the performances are fantastic, as we all currently know. But obviously you've got Martial and Rashford that can pass the ball, they create, they're fast, they press high up the pitch, and they create chances. This is something that Romelu Lukaku doesn't do, so I don't see how he fits our team because Lukaku's too slow, struggles to create chances. As I said, when he comes, as long as he's putting the ball in the back of the net, whilst he's adapting other areas of his game, but he just hasn't improved on his first touch. He hasn't improved on his finishing. He hasn't improved on his finishing, as we all currently know, but somewhere along the line, this needs addressing, does his first touch. Maybe the brilliance of Solskjaer could maybe improve this, but, I don't think he's really a Manchester United player. Romelu Lukaku, it's like, as I keep saying, we've got Matic in our team in the midfield, too slow, doesn't have any tempo to his play, but he wasn't a main priority target signing anywhere, as we all know, because when Mourinho wasn't here, he didn't get his main priority targets. And, he wasn't getting backed in the last summer window by the board. Some of the signings Mourinho wanted to get in, the board weren't backing, as we all know. But Matic is too slow on the ball as well, too stack on the ball. I think he can pass the ball, but I think he can create, but I think he's too slow on the ball. He has no tempo to his play to drive forward. You've got Fellaini as well, who's exactly the same, too slow on the ball. But we've had him here since 2013. I think some of his performances have been good, but I think he's too slow, and it's worrying when you've got a midfield, that's too slow. But you've got Paul Pogba there. He makes a big, massive difference. Leader of the midfield. When he's on his best, when he's being consistent, and when he's on his best form, he's like two players in one in that midfield. But you can tell how effective and imbalanced our midfield is, without Paul Pogba in it. As I said, but I think Paul Pogba is now going to become very, very consistent. As I said, especially under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah, Romelu Lukaku, I still think Mini Raiola still represents Romelu Lukaku, but it keeps constantly being linked with a move to Italy, does Romelu Lukaku. So reportedly Juventus are interested in him, as I said, but Man United may, get rid of Romelu Lukaku, because essentially for me, he doesn't complement Sanchez, he doesn't complement Martial, he doesn't complement Rashford, and he doesn't complement Lingard, because all them players, Sanchez, even though Sanchez has failed to develop himself since he's come to the club, and we all know he's injured until, the new year, as we all know. But he was very, very good in his Arsenal days, as we all know, and he was very, very good when he was younger in his prime. Alexis Sanchez, he was proven to be a goal scorer. As I said, he's proven in the Premier League, obviously, he did very, very well with Arsenal. But he still has good pace, and he can put balls into the box, and he can create chances, can Sanchez. And that he fits in that. And, you've got Martial, who's got great, great pace. Rashford, who's got great, great pace, can press high up the pitch. You've got Lingard that can also do that as well. But, Lukaku can't do that. And I don't see really how he fits in, Romelu Lukaku. But, potentially, Romelu Lukaku did admit during one of the international breaks that he would make a move, that he'd be interested in making a move to Italy. So potentially it's like if you put Lukaku in the Manchester City team alongside Sane and Aguero and all that. And Sterling, he has no pace, Romelu Lukaku, so he wouldn't fit in there if you put him in the Liverpool team alongside Salah, Firmino and Mane and all that. And he was in the mix with a Liverpool team. He wouldn't fit into the Liverpool team. So I just don't see in this Manchester United team how Lukaku fits in, to be quite honest with you. But he did well in his first season, as we all currently know. But yeah, so we could see a few players go. I don't think Lukaku has a future at Manchester United. I don't, honestly, in my own opinion, think Matic has a future at Manchester United. Too slow on the ball. His performances have been poor this season. He played well against Cardiff, but as we all said, we have a lot of concerns about him. I think Herrera's a good midfielder who would keep him. I think Darmian could be on his way out of the club because he's not guaranteed to get first team football, and he's also come to an end of his deal. I think Bay's going to stay. I think he's going to get more game time at Manchester United. There's been speculation about Valencia potentially leaving the club as well. He's now 33 years of age. He has been at Manchester United now, for nearly 10 years now, and we got him from Wigan. And I think when he was in his prime, young in his prime, I thought he was a very, very good player. To be quite fair, and he's been an essential player for us over the years. As Antonio Valencia, he's been our most essential right back. Obviously now he's not, because he's 33 years of age, and our most essential right back is now either Ashley Young or Diego Doyle, as we all know. So potentially, yeah, he's out of favour now at the club. He had a mouth injury as well, Antonio Valencia, early on in the season. Valencia's representative has been discussions potentially, Valencia. About Valencia's future at the club. As I said, I think he's made 300 appearances, Valencia, at Old Trafford, as we all know. But there was talks about that whilst we still had Jose Mourinho as our manager. The question is, will Phil Jones stay at Manchester United? I do think he will sign a new contract. We do have the option to extend it by a further 12 months, as I said. But Phil Jones, as I said, he can play. He can be a really, really good centre-back. He can be a really, really good centre-back, when he does play. He can put a good defensive display in. Obviously now proven in the Premier League. He's been here since, 2012. He were paid £17 million for him from Blackburn. The only thing that concerns me is injury prone. Phil Jones is known for injuries, as we all currently know, so he is injury-prone player. Just like Luke Shaw, he's obviously our third choice left back now. He's injury-prone. He's had injuries whilst he's been at United. He had injuries when he was when he was young in his prime with Southampton, as we all know. But I still really, really like Luke Shaw. As I said, he did sign a 5-year deal not so long ago, as we all currently know as well. But I think we could still see a few players leave, as I said. But with the Paul Pogba situation, he admitted, whilst we had Mourinho, that potentially he would like to make a return to Juventus. Juventus reportedly have been interested in getting him back, Paul Pogba, as I currently said. But I see him now, he will stay at Manchester United, as we all know. If we'd have still had Mourinho, maybe Pogba would have left then. But obviously now we haven't got Mourinho. We've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in as our interim manager. And obviously we know we're going to get 70, 80% at least better out of these players under Solskjaer. And Pogba's obviously going to be more consistent, as I said. I think Pogba will definitely stay at the club. We paid £89 million for him. But I do really, really like Paul Pogba. I know I've slated him down because he hasn't really proven himself in English football, and his performances were disappointing under Mourinho. But on all the potential team were disappointing under Mourinho because they weren't playing to the potential level. But I think Paul Pogba, will stay, under Solskjaer because I think he's going to be more consistent under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I said. Yeah. Oh. All right. But as I said, so that's potentially latest news about that. Reportedly, he's going to get £50 million to spend his Solskjaer in the this upcoming January transfer window. Reportedly, the board and Ed Woodward have made it clear that he's only literally allowed to get loan signings in January. So reportedly, they've sanctioned Solskjaer getting any permanent deals in January because obviously the club want to reinvest. They want to save money until next summer, until we get our official manager in. But I think Solskjaer's a good candidate for the club. As I said, he knows the club inside out. He knows the strappings of the club. He knows the culture of the club, as we all know. And he knows, obviously, he didn't play, obviously, with these players, back in his playing career. But he obviously knows some of the players from the reserve team. He's watched them grow and develop, as he said. And Solskjaer's going to give all the players an opportunity. He's going to promote the youth, which is very, very good news indeed. As I currently said, and he's going to give everybody the chance, as I currently said, and he has praised Michael Carrick, he has praised Kieran, he said it's a delight to work with them, and it's very, very happy, he's just had his press conference for the Manchester United Huddersfield game, as I said, and he said the players, he said he's looking forward to playing back at Old Trafford, as he currently said, and he says the players are looking forward to playing, back at Old Trafford, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, and he's very, very happy, to make a return to Old Trafford is Solskjaer. Obviously, he knows the club. Obviously, a bit of managerial experience as well. He was a great player from 1996 to 2007. Won a lot of honours with Manchester United, scored 126 goals in 366 appearances in all competitions, as we all currently know. But it depends how we progress in this next 5 months, in this 5-6 months with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If we do get into the top 4, the performances carry on, and we're playing to that level, we're playing to the highest level, as we are now under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we've proven against Cardiff. To say he won't get the job on a full-time basis, who's to say they won't give him the new contract? You just don't know, do you, as I said. But at Mould, he won 2 Norwegian titles. He didn't have such a good defensive record with them. He didn't have such a good defensive record with Cardiff, but he only lasted, 30 games in charge of Cardiff, as we all currently know. But I think he's the right man for Manchester United. He knows about the club. He has that mentality, He's still got to think about players' contract renewals because they're coming to the end of the deal. Lineups every game, tactics, maybe getting some players in the January transfer window, as we all currently know. But as I said, I think we're going to do very, very well under the management of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has been in close touch with Alex Ferguson. Obviously, we won 38 trophies with Manchester United. But Solskjaer has been discussing his managerial style at the club, and I think he's happy about fulfilling his managerial role at Manchester United. I think he's happy of fulfilling his role at Manchester United, as we all currently know. But I do love him. He loves the club by his heart, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. But the rumours that have been coming out in the last couple of days, that I have been updating you on, that potentially Man United still want to get a centre-back in. They're still interested in getting a winger in, as we all know. We're not in any desperate need for any signings because this team is a good team. And potentially, I think Solskjaer's got them playing together as a team now, communicating, gelling together as a team, getting, this is the type of football we want to see, attractive football, positive football, getting fullbacks high up the pitch, as we exactly saw against Cardiff, as we all currently know. Bodies getting in decent positions, creating chances, playing the game at a fast tempo. That's exactly what we saw at Cardiff, and seeing good individual performances, and that's exactly what we saw against Cardiff, and that's the football Manchester United want to see, because we haven't seen that, since the Alex Ferguson days, as we all currently know. But as I said, I think he's got the spirit back in the team, the confidence is back in the team, the mood's lifted in the atmosphere, the fans and the players and everything. So the confidence now, all of a sudden, is now back at Manchester United, of course. So we spent 700-800 million pound in all the managerial areas since actually Alex Ferguson retired in 2013. Mourinho spent over 400 million pounds on players, as we all know, but obviously the players weren't playing for him, and when we had players under Van Gaal, they weren't playing for him. The players weren't playing under David Moyes, as we all currently know. But that's why we've been in such a bad position, as I currently said. But I think Solskjaer's going to get the team playing. He wants the team to play. He wants the team to play the United way, which I think we are going to do, to be quite fair. But all Solskjaer wants to do is get the confidence back in the team and get the players enjoying football again, and get the players to express themselves, which they exactly did against Cardiff. So thanking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for the instructions he gives to the players, thanking the players, going along with the instructions, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer demanded, as I said. But Lukaku could leave, whether it be January or next summer. But Juventus are keen on getting a deal over the line for Lukaku. But as I said, I'm not a big fan of him. I know he's proven in the Premier League to be quite fair. He has proven to be a prolific goal scorer. But as there's strikers out there that are better, that have got more pace, better goal scorers, faster on the ball, and link up with the teammates very, very well. And there is better out there than Lukaku. I'd have even preferred Morata to Lukaku. To quite fair, because he's got more pace about him. He's a better finisher. He can play on the wing as well. But he's struggled for consistency since he's come to the Premier League as Morata, to be quite fair. I updated you on that yesterday. But as I said, Man United is still in the search for the director of football, as I updated you the other day as well. So reportedly, Peter Schmeichel reportedly is interested in fulfilling the director's role at Manchester United. The name that we mentioned the other week was Paul Mitchell to become our director of football. But reportedly, a lot of people wouldn't want to see Peter Schmeichel as being director at Manchester United, because obviously he's never had the experience of being fulfilling that role. We know he knows about the club, Peter Schmeichel, because he was here from 1991 to 1999. Won 10 honours with Manchester United, of course. Did Peter Schmeichel, as we all currently know, won 10 honours with Manchester United. Obviously, he was a goalkeeper, as we all know him. He played like 398 times, didn't he, for Manchester United? He captained in the 1999 Champions League as well. Also won the European Championship with Denmark in 1992. Made 129 appearances for Denmark as well. Did Peter Schmeichel, but reportedly, he thinks, do I have the qualities? I want to bring the culture back. I want to bring the identity back. So he does know about the club. Does Peter Schmeichel, because obviously he played alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for 3 years in the Manchester United team, as we all know, under the management of Alex Ferguson. But reportedly he's considering taking the director's role at Manchester United. That's the report that came out from the press a couple of days ago. You know, would I want him? Not too sure to call because he's never had any experience of being in that role, as we all currently know, guys. But he's never really had an experience. I think we do need someone, to be quite fair, that is experienced, you know, to fulfill that role. And Paul Mitchell has been mentioned as well. But we are in search for the director of football. So potentially, yeah. So you know, I don't think he'll get it anywhere, but potentially, yeah. So the reports that have been coming out in the last couple of days about Manchester United, that reportedly Man United are interested in Juventus's Douglas Costa. It does keep getting reported in the press, and the Italian press do keep reporting on that Manchester United are linked with Juventus's Douglas Costa. He can play on each flank on the wing. Played as a forward and attacking midfielder in his younger days. He is now 28 years of age, is Douglas Costa. He is highly experienced. I think he'd complement our team fantastically well. I think he'd complement the likes of Rashford, Martial and Jesse Lingard and all that, because he's got a lot of pace about his game. He's a good crosser of the ball. He can put balls into the box as well. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play. He has struggled for consistency this season so far with Juventus, and he struggled for form because he hasn't scored yet this season. He hasn't been getting the game time that he currently wants this season at Juventus. And since Ronaldo arrived at Juventus, you know, Douglas Costa is struggling to get in the starting 11, as we all currently know. Reportedly, allegedly, it did say in the press, Manchester United have reportedly put around the £54 million bidding for Douglas Costa, as we all know. But obviously, Juventus signed him permanently earlier this year. He had the release clause of £36 million, and Juventus had paid this £36 million and got him on a permanent deal. Obviously, he was on a 1-year loan deal last season. Won 2 trophies with them in his first season, of course. I thought it was good when he was younger in his prime, you know, with like Bayern Munich, he was good. He developed himself very, very well. He was good with Shakhtar Donetsk, you know, as well. He had 5 great years there with Shakhtar Donetsk. You know, he obviously began his career as a youngster with Gramero, as we all currently know. So he has grown and developed fantastically well. His crossing's very, very good. He's a good dribbler of the ball. He's fast. He's got a lot of tenacity about his play, as I said. And he's very, very quick on the ball, and he's got an eye for goal, as I said, and he can create chances as well, because I have watched him. But this season hasn't really made an impact because he hasn't really had the opportunities that he would have liked to. Douglas Costa, as we all know, but he's been mentioned in the press as well. Also, Man United is still linked to quite a few central defenders. We know that Tove Alderweireld's been mentioned now. Tove Alderweireld, I said I have reservations about his game. You know, there's been no sign of him signing a new contract with Tottenham. As we all know, Tove Alderweireld, you know, Man United were in discussions last summer with Tottenham about getting a deal over the line. Tottenham were demanding that they wanted around £60 million for him. Ed Woodward had been in discussions with Danny Lever over this, but obviously Tottenham didn't. Obviously, Man United were not willing to pay £60 million to the player. But as I said, yeah, Tove Alderweireld, you know, I do have reservations about him. I think he needs to adjust his game more now. I think he's been on the decline for quite a while now. I think he's lost the pace a little bit. He's gone off the pace a little bit, Tove Alderweireld. I think he's gone a bit slow now, Tove Alderweireld. But as I said, he can prove to be a world-class central defender, and, you know, he can perform very, very well on the day. And he's proven well, of course, in the Premier League, as I currently said. So I think he'd be a great leader in our back line, you know, at Manchester United, you know, if we want to get a deal over the line for him, as I currently said. If we did get him in January, I'd be happy if it was just him. If we didn't make any permanent signings in January, I'd be happy, because I don't think we're in desperate need for any. But, you know, if we did get a couple of loan signings in, you know, which reportedly Solskjaer is only allowed to do until the end of the season, as I said, and, you know, we could then maybe have the option to get them on permanent deals, as I said. But, yeah, Tove Alderweireld's obviously been in the Premier League a good few years now, as I said, and Tottenham do have other options at the back. They do have Davinson Sanchez and Vertonghen, as we all know. And Tottenham have got a lot of good players. You know, they've got a lot of good young age talented players in their team. As I said, of Tottenham, and as I said, so Tove Alderweireld reportedly he would cost in the excess of around £30 million reportedly. We reportedly know he's got a over 25 million release clause, just over 25 million release clause for next summer as well. as Toby Alderweireld. But yeah, I do really like him as a player. He's physically strong. He's good in the air. He does have some tenacity about his play when he is playing to his potential best, and he has got good. He has got potential. Bailey for us has got great potential, as we all know. And I think he'd look good if you put him alongside Toby Alderweireld. If you put Lindelof alongside Toby Alderweireld, it'd look good, as we all know. But a potential other target of Manchester United has been Napoli's Koulibaly. Now, reportedly, Napoli have confirmed I don't think they're willing to do any business in the January transfer window. Reportedly, in the excess, Manchester United in the process have had 3 bids turned down for Napoli's Koulibaly, but he adapts every area of his game very, very well. Has very, very little weaknesses. I don't think he has any weaknesses because he's a world-class central defender, and he's proving that during his time with Napoli. As we all know, his performances in the Champions League have been very, very good. And Napoli know how much of an essential player he is, but reportedly he's rated at around at least £90 million. So this is what Napoli are demanding. But the Napoli president himself had confirmed that Man United recent bid they put in was £95 million, but Napoli had instantly turned this down. As I currently said, other 2 bids had been rejected before that as well. He is under contract with Napoli to 2023. He is 27 years old, 27 years old. So he has still got quite a lot of years ahead of him. And it would be good to come and see Koulibaly, experience the Premier League, as we all currently know. But his name does keep getting mentioned up. Ed Woodward has, previously Ed Woodward has been in discussions with the Napoli officials, potentially, because we've obviously got Fossil Mensah out, don't forget, out on loan, Tuan Zebit out on loan, as we all know. But potentially, we're not in that. Well, everyone's been saying we do need a strong central defender with the amount of goals we've been conceding this season. We do need another attack up there. Sanchez isn't developing. Lukaku struggling for consistency, as we all know. So, Bev, what time do you want me to get a shower? What time do you want me to get a shower? Soon as? Yeah. Alright. But as I said, yeah, Koulibaly has been a potential Manchester United target, as we all currently know. But yeah, not long now till the January window opens. Christmas Day today, you got 6 days, isn't it? Something like that. Yeah, 6 days until the window is officially open. I always look forward to the transfer window because obviously I've been disappointed with our lack of investment in these transfer windows, especially when we had Mourinho. We wasn't getting us number one targets, wasn't being aggressive enough in the windows. I think potentially the last big signing we did make was actually Juan Mata back in 2014 because he's been very, very good and consistent for us since he's come to the club, as we all know. But when we had Alex Ferguson, we used to boss the markets, get the players that we wanted in. He was known for growing and developing players as well. As Ferguson shown, because we had 27 years of great success with him. He grew and developed. Rooney, look at what player Rooney turned into when he came, to Man United in 2004. Record goal scorer for the club, record goal scorer for the international, for England as well. 208 Premier League goals. The highest goal scorer of all time. Just second. Just below Alan Shearer as well. He provided 103 assists in the Premier League as well, did Wayne Rooney. He actually was discussing on BT, after the Cardiff game about his ambitions to maybe dream of managing Manchester United in the future. I think he would take the opportunity, if he could. It won't happen though. But yeah, and look what he did with Cristiano Ronaldo. When he came, he was very, very young in his prime. He grew and developed Cristiano Ronaldo, and look at what type of player, he turned out to be. One of the best players in the world, as we all know. Ronaldo, as we all know, won a lot of silverware with the club, just like Wayne Rooney did, as we all know. So Ferguson is known for growing and developing players, as he did do when he was managing Manchester United, of course. So potentially now, when this opportunity does come, I don't think we're not in any desperate need to sign any official players in January, any permanent deals, but think about getting a new manager in at the end of the season, then think about potentially maybe getting some permanent deals over the line, as I currently said. Whether it's Pochettino that comes in, whether it be Zinedine Zidane, Solskjaer, I won't rule him out. I won't rule him out yet, because if he progresses well in this 6 months, he may get the job on a full-time basis, as I currently said. So you never know, guys. As I said, but Pochettino is the favourite candidate, or Zinedine Zidane, because Pochettino now, Man United are the favourites to land him at the end of the season. Paul Scholes, who was a great player, and he was a great partnership, with Michael Carrick, when he was playing for Man United as a player. Scholes, obviously, the pundit has now said, obviously, Pochettino would be his favourite. Ferguson I said Pochettino would be ideal, and Gary Neville said, this was just after the Mourinho sacking, that Gary Neville said Pochettino would be the right candidate, with his use of young players. Obviously, Tottenham's mainly built around him, as we all currently know. Tottenham's built around Pochettino because he's only spent a net spend of £50 million since 2014 at Tottenham, but his football he plays is very, very good. It's entertaining football that Tottenham play. He likes attacking football, does Pochettino. He likes entertaining football. And he's got Tottenham playing very, very good, as I said. And I think he would understand the philosophy. I think he'd have the right mentality to come into our club at the end of the season. I know he's fully committed to Tottenham, as he said. He's happy at Tottenham. At the moment, it's Pochettino. He's been managing since 2009, as we all currently know. Pochettino hasn't won out in silverware, as we all currently know. But I said, if he came to United, he'd have the willpower. He'd have the money to spend. And I think he would be a good manager for Manchester United, as I currently said, would Mauricio Pochettino. But as I said, I think Solskjaer understands the philosophy, as I currently know. But obviously, Pochettino's got a lot more managerial experience, obviously, than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Solskjaer obviously knows the culture of the club. He knows the club inside out because he played for us for a lot of years. But Pochettino, as I said, knows about the Premier League. He's proven in the Premier League. He's been managing the Premier League, 7 seasons or something like that, as we all currently know. But also we know that Zinedine Zidane, Pochettino's obviously got a 5-year deal with Tottenham, so if Solskjaer wanted to get the job on a full-time basis and Man United, wanted to go in Pochettino, it would cost us £35-40 million anywhere. As we all currently know, but he's got great players in his Tottenham team, as we all know. He's got them working very, very hard. They're currently sitting third now in the table, at Tottenham, so they are doing very, very well. But that's just down to the management, and Pochettino's got this Tottenham team playing very, very well, as we all know, and he hasn't spent that much since 2014. As we all know, Tottenham's still waiting for the stadium. I think that's due to get it in January. That's due to get it this January out of the new stadium. Well, next year sometime, if it's not January. But yeah, we know also Zinedine Zidane's been mentioned. Zinedine Zidane's never played or managed in the Premier League, but good manager, great pedigree. He's got a great managerial CV as Zinedine Zidane. Reportedly the other week, as he updated you on one of my videos, Man United actually offered Zinedine Zidane the job, but reportedly he's still considering it. Is Zinedine Zidane, as I currently said, and he's a great manager. I think he understands the philosophy. He's good at developing young players, just like Pochettino is as well. He's never been proven in the Premier League because he's never played or managed in the Premier League, but I think he's got great managerial credentials as Zinedine Zidane. I think he's got that confidence in him. I think he's got that winning mentality, as we all currently know. I think he would tell the players to express themselves. And Zinedine Zidane had a lot of good players, when he was managing Real Madrid. And I said, since Zinedine Zidane stepped down as Real Madrid manager, since Ronaldo left Real Madrid have had quite a lot of problems. As we all know, they've got problems with the new interim boss, Santiago Solari. As I currently said, but yeah, Zinedine Zidane, he's been mentioned about coming to manage Manchester United, at the end of the season, as we all know. He was a great manager for Real Madrid. When he was at Real Madrid, he won honours. He was a great player for Real Madrid, won honours. Great players for Juventus, won honours, as we all know, when he was a player. But he's got a great managerial CV, and he won 3 Champions Leagues as a manager with Real Madrid, as we all currently know. But I think he's destined. I think obviously he wants to come back in management soon. He's currently not managing at the moment because he's been managerless now. Is it 6 months? He stepped down from being Real Madrid manager in May. So I think potentially Zinedine Zidane is destined. His next move is to come and manage in the Premier League. It'd be a great experience for him to come and manage in English football. Experience a new era. Manage different players. As I currently said, and I think he'd do very, very well if he come and manage in the Premier League. But I think it's Pochettino is the favourite to come in permanently at the end of the season. That's if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis. I don't think he will. It depends how he does in this 6 months. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. But if Solskjaer doesn't get the job on a full-time basis, I think we get Pochettino in. If we don't get Pochettino in, I think it will be Zinedine Zidane that comes in. As I said, and we know there's other potential managers' names that have been mentioned as well. So yeah, that's everything to update today. That's some transfer news to update you on. As I currently said, I said at the beginning of the video, Arsenal are linked with Lille, Nicolas Pepe. Arsenal have had talks about this. Reportedly, he's 23 years of age. You know, they're demanding that they want around £72 million. That is a lot for the young player. He still needs to grow and develop more. But reportedly, his performances in France with Lille have been very, very impressive indeed. And Arsenal do need a winger, in my opinion. You know, I think they need a couple of defenders as well. They've got defensive problems, and they've got quite a few injury problems, and they've had a few injury problems this season. Of Arsenal as well. But potentially Nicolas Pepe, I think he's still got 4 years left on his deal, 4.5 years left on his deal, because he signed a 5-year deal with them back in June 2017. He is 23 years of age. He's been a full international since 2016 with the Ivory Coast as well. But do you think, if he was to get in the mix, if he was to make a move to Arsenal, and Arsenal were willing to pay his price tag, do you think he'd fit in the mix, if he was alongside Lacazette and Aubameyang, and do you think he'd fit, do you think he'd fit into the Arsenal team? As I said, he's only 23 years of age. He's never played in the Premier League, as I said, but he has risen up the ranks very, very well indeed. So he's been a potential Arsenal target as well as Nicolas Pepe. So essentially, yeah, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, we'll be back very, very later on with a couple of more videos to update you on. But as I currently said, yeah, Solskjaer's also confirmed that Mason Greenwood, before I go, will be, as I did update you, will be making his senior debut against Reading in the FA Cup. He's been doing very, very well for the reserves as Mason Greenwood to give you an update on. But yeah, that's really about it to update you on today. As I currently said, drop your comments, likes on the channel. As I said, there will be more live videos coming up very later on. It's Christmas Day today. I've got Christmas dinner and that to eat, and open presents and all that. But we'll be back later on, 6, 7 o'clock maybe tonight. We'll be back on the channel, maybe a bit early, depending what goes on today and that. So anyway, take care. God bless, guys. Drop your comments, likes below, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.